Welcome to Leading for Value. My name is Ken Rethmeyer. I may be the principal author of this book, but I've had some great help from some great friends and colleagues that I'll talk about a little bit later. But first, I want to introduce you to the book by a series of questions that you as a leader may be asking yourself every day. Let's get started. What can I do to really make a difference and achieve what I think our organization can achieve? How do I motivate others to want to work as hard as I think I'm working? Does my vision about our future in healthcare make sense? I see healthcare needs in my community, and I know what I think we can do to fix some of those challenges, but how and where do I start? And how do I get other key organizations in our community to join us in this effort to make a difference? How do I get us out of the budget mess we're in? And how do I cope with the challenges that we face financially every year when the government changes, policies change, reimbursements change? Well, that's a real problem. What is my real role as a leader? What do I do that I can contribute to my organization and my community? Do my values resonate with anyone else? You know what? I think I'm just overwhelmed. And more importantly, does anyone really care? Those are the kinds of questions that we all face as leaders in a variety of roles that we play in our organizations and our communities. So let me spend a little bit of time talking about what Leading for Value is all about. First, the purpose of Leading for Value is to provide its principal view that in all settings, regardless of the level of authority, your responsibility and accountability, all leadership roles share one common element and objective, and that is to add value. Every time, on time, without fail, exclamation mark. So Leading for Value is more like a guide with a lot of references to help support the models that we present, 4 models in fact, but each one has a different perspective on this role that we call leadership. It comes as the basis of 45 years, in my own case, of development and learning and participation in a variety of leadership roles. In my own case, it was 22 years as a medical service corps officer in the United States Navy, working in the civilian healthcare market, consulting, and teaching with Project Hope in Europe for 7 years brought me to the realization that whatever I can do, if you'll pardon the expression, I will do to help you and others achieve the levels of competency that you want to achieve as leaders. So this is more of a guide than it is an academic reference to support our work and your work. So let's start with the models. The first model is what we refer to as C3. That has to do with capacity, capability, and confidence. Its perspective is all about the personal journey of leadership and what it is we do as leaders about seeing a vision, creating a learning organization, and focusing on sustained superior performance to achieve uncommon and unexpected unique results. It relies on a lot of different factors besides capacity, capability. It really results in creating the confidence to achieve something that we all know that we can achieve. The second model is one we call E3. Has to do with some core competencies that all leaders need to be able to instill in others that they work with. And E3 is a model designed around intra and interorganizational viewpoints, where leaders embed the competencies and behaviors to use new ways of thinking to explore, expand, and excel. In terms of a variety of different topics or areas of focus in every organization, that includes ideas, relationships, processes, and systems. In this case, it's all about leadership. The third model is commonly referred to as iWorks, Innovation Works, but it's all about this concept of creativity and innovation. What we are providing in this particular chapter is a quiver full of tools to unleash the enthusiasm and wealth of new thinking about old problems that will lead to far better results. You may see blurred boxes here, but the reality is that we're trying to provide balanced thinking in an unbalanced world. And the last chapter is rather unique. It's entitled Managing Risk, but it forms its basis upon a variety of dimensions, foundational characteristics, and levels of prevention. The concepts in this particular model come from a variety of industries: the oil industry, the healthcare industry, financial services, and yes, by the way, both in terms of not-for-profit organizations as well as for-profit organizations. Now, this model, Managing Risk, is not about the normal perspective of risk management that we typically refer to in the healthcare world. It's not designed to mitigate risk. Rather, this chapter is designed to help you see risk as an opportunity to be pursued, just in a little different way than the usual model we find in most healthcare organizations. So those are the models we present, and here's how Leading4Value is organized in terms of each chapter. Every chapter starts with setting the context of the environment in which we think the model fits. Then we describe the model. Then we believe it's important to put the model in the context of healthcare reform. Now, our target audience is primarily for Europe, using the work and visions from WHO and the European Union to set standards for achieving real impact and value. But everything we present in Leading4Value, every single tool, every single concept can be applied in any industry or setting, because that's how models and tools evolved. They came from different settings. They can therefore be applied in a variety of different environments. The common denominator is all about leadership. Then, after a more extensive review of the model in each chapter and how it fits in the role of leadership, each chapter has a set with a total of over 50 combined, 50 very practical and easy to use tools with instructions how to answer a leader's desire for something I can do today to make a difference and motivate my team toward the vision I see and the one I want others to see, believe that we can achieve. And oh, by the way, we encourage you to experiment and adapt for the tools to the exercises in your own organization's need. Don't just use them as we present them. Apply them to however you think it works best for you. Each chapter also has something that we think is unique in the kind of book that this is. And that's a case study designed and developed by and presented by a well-respected group of healthcare professionals from a variety of locations and backgrounds to challenge our readers to be confronted with real-life examples of the leadership challenges you are likely to face. We encourage you to use the thinking from the model associated with each case in the chapter that you've just read, along with some of the tools to help you work through what you would see as feasible and effective solutions. This is your time to experiment and think. It's a small laboratory setting. And to that extent, I want to thank Dr. Tobias Gantner, Dr. Kasia Shabanowska, Dr. Tony Smith, and Dr. Daniela Vachino. These folks have been colleagues of mine and friends, and we've worked together. I highly respect them, and each one of them presented a unique perspective on a case that we think has great value. So that's it. Leading for Value is presented as a resource we believe will help you along in your own journey of leadership, your development, your opportunity to bring value in all that you do. Results with meaning that produce real, tangible impact, and results that are meaningful. So at the end of the day, you feel good about what you have done for your healthcare organization, your team, and especially the community you serve. Thank you for making Leading for Value a part of your journey.